Hi guys, once again I want to go over the patch notes, just let you know what I think about them. So this is for the Season 4 patch, came out on the 4th of February 2020. So first of all, Battle Pass, skins are pretty good, especially the Watson skin, pretty happy about that one, and the Flatline skin, pretty happy about that one, and the Skydive emote's pretty cool too, but other than that, just a normal Battle Pass. Right, onto Revenant. I don't think he's the best legend. I don't think he's the worst legend. His kit's okay. It's interesting, but I do not think it's going to be coming into competitive, if at all. Ranked, I think you'll see him quite a bit, but I don't think you'll see him in competitive. The Stalker is quite nice. Let him climb higher, but you don't need it. It doesn't really add much to a legend. Like, you can do most things without it. The Tactical Grenade is really good at countering Wraith Gibby players. So if someone portals and then tries to bubble straight out the portal, you can just stop it. Like, as soon as you see the portal go down, you grenade it, they can't bubble, and you can kill the squad or punish them for it at least. So that's really nice to see that there's actually some counters to some things. The ultimate death item is really interesting, but yeah, again, very niche. I don't think there's going to be much you're going to get out of it. The range is quite small, so when someone does push with it and they get killed, they're just going to get pushed because they're going to come out with, like, say they've got purple shield, 105 health. It's not a lot. You're just going to take them down. Low profile, Revenant takes 5% more damage. I'm kind of on the same wavelength as Watson on this one. I'm not sure if he deserves it. He's not quick. He doesn't have the mobility like anyone else. And when you do try and climb higher on walls, you slow down very quickly when you get like over a certain level, so you're punishable anyway. So I don't think that's needed. I'm quite surprised to see there's no legend balance fixes also. I mean, it kind of makes sense. It's a big update. There's a lot of changes. You don't need to pile it all on into one. They're probably going to come within a future patch. So I guess Gibby's still going unscathed for the next period of time. Okay, onto the Sentinel Sniper Rifle. I was so excited that the bolt action sniper rifle was getting added to the game. That wasn't the Craver. I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. And I'm not disappointed. It is extremely fun to use. Pretty high skill cap. The bullet travel speed has thrown me off a little bit, but it's fine. Like, it's such a good gun. I mean, it hits like 68 damage to the body. You're almost cracking a blue shield with one shot. That's an opening for your team, like most times. You're not expecting to just flat out kill people from range with it. A longbow is going to do that better, in my opinion. It's easier to use too. But you're seeing everyone use it, and it is so. I'm not surprised. It's so much fun. I'm not seeing many people use the shield battery charge on it, where you get disruptor. So if you hit someone in the body, it's 100 damage. So you can strip like purple shields off someone, which is amazing. But you need to shoot them to get the information whether they've got purple shields to start with. Because if you shoot them with a charged bullet, and they've got like blue or below, it's not really worth it. So I think that might need tweaking. Maybe you can use cells or something instead. That might work. Or you just get less of a charge if you use a cell. I think that would work. Okay, onto the map. So overall, couldn't be happier. I think a lot of the map's problems have been dealt with. I did expect a lot more changes when I first heard about the map change, but I think they've done the right amount, to be honest. They've kept the good places as they are, and they've changed some of the blank places, and they've split some of the weird places like Capital. A lot of people just seem to get stuck in it. Now it's not the case, and it's still fun to fight in. Obviously, my opinion on how good the map change can change, because I haven't experienced all the new end zones, but I do like it. I do think it's pretty good. Zones within Harvester are a bit of a worrying point for me at the moment, just because you don't know what you're going to get. Like, there's a lot of heal offs that could happen in there that I can see. I've had one zone in there so far, and it wasn't bad, so I'm not worrying too much. But yeah, removal of buildings and power spots from chokes has been incredible. Two in particular, one from Thermal Station towards Fuel Depot. There was a really good building and a choke up there that just let you control the entire choke. That was really hard for people to get through. And the tower between Fuel Depot and Capital City as well. Them two getting removed, fantastic. Like, the chokes are much less oppressive. You can actually rotate a lot better. I'm really, really happy with it. The fact Capital's been split in two, love it. I think it's much more fun to fight in. The updrafts, I see what they did. I did read a blog about it, and they said they didn't want to make it too oppressive if you fell off, or you just died straight away, because that was their original thing. Now you just take damage and you float back up, but if you go in there and someone knows you're there, you're dead. Like, you float back up so slowly, they're just gonna kill you. The survey camp, I think it's amazing. One of my favorite parts of the map at the moment. The weapon racks are cool. I wish they had ammo with them though. It kind of defeats the point of having a weapon there, I think. Right, onto rank changes. So the top 500 being Predator, I think it's brilliant. bit more competitive to ranked, because it got a bit stale towards the end of the season. Like, no one felt that their rank meant anything. People just didn't care anymore. Like, you got what you got, and there was far too many predators. I think a lot of that comes down to other issues which have already been dealt with, which was nice to see. So the splits are interesting. 6-week seasons is going to be weird, but much better, I think. I think people will care a lot more about ranked. Hopefully it brings the quality up a bit more. The Dive Trails Moon seasonal reward, happy with that as well. Like, you should be rewarded for your current level of play, not your past level of play, although we are keeping the series 1 and 2 dive trails permanently. The change to assists and how assists have been moved over is very interesting. So before, if you did damage to someone, there'd be a 5-second window where you'd be granted an assist. If they used any sort of med, so cell, syringe, medkit, battery, it would cancel and clean the assist, which is why people weren't getting their assists sometimes. Now, status effect put you on the assist list for the time, which, so if you hit with a Revenant Q or something like that, that isn't necessarily damage, but you've affected them, so like Bloodhound scans, stuff like that, that will give you an assist. And also the timer has been up from 5 to 7.5 seconds, which is pretty big. And if they are to take a cell or something, it doesn't clean you off the list. Right, anniversary login gift. Just rewarding people who have been around a long time. It's nice to see stuff like this come out whenever it does, but doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Onto the loot. So the sniper ammo is a really interesting change. I quite like it. Before, you'd find a lot of people just running snipers all over the place. You'd get beamed from like a full squad of like longbows or something at like 300 to 500 meters, literally because they can. Now the ammo is a bit more scarce, so you can't do that. You have to make your shots count because they do take up inventory space. It's kind of weird to me putting essentially bullets in a triple take or charge rifle, but it doesn't make any difference. But it's nice to see that they've done something like this. Energy ammo, great change. For this, I quite often find myself like running out of energy ammo or not finding enough when I needed it. Despite the energy, we'll touch on the energy weapons a bit later, but yeah, it's nice that you get more now. Again, I'm going to touch on this when I get down to weapons, but the turbocharge has been removed, which is, I didn't expect to see this coming. It's a bit weird, but it is what it is. Gold pack back. Honestly, I've not noticed this UI update at all. It's a bit disappointing, but it's not a big problem. Nice to see they're thinking about things like that though. Maybe they'll change it a bit more in the future to make it a bit more obvious. Right, onto the juicy stuff. The weapons. The update to iron sights. This change is fantastic. The guns feel so much more accurate overall, most noticeably with the wingman on iron sights. That is so much better. Before it was a bit off-centered and there's like mad sway on it, and it's all gone. Everything's just feels more accurate, feels better to use. Amazing change. Absolutely amazing. Right, the scout, it's been moved to an AR. Right, we all know the scout was the absolute king for the majority of last season. This rebalance really knocked it down, but by no means I'd consider it weak. It's still very strong. The reduced fire rate was needed. I didn't realize the accuracy in ziplines was a bug. I thought that was just a feature of the weapon, and it's pretty weird putting like a regular stock on the scout, but this just makes it a bit stronger when you hit firing. Not that you do that too often, but you do sometimes. The removal of sniper scopes is, I think, what's putting people off picking the weapon back up at the moment, because you don't see many of them. But I think the 3x and the 2 to 4 variable are fine. The gun's definitely still strong and it's going to be competitive. Nice to see. I think it'll probably still be somewhere in scrims, but we'll have to wait and see about that one. Right, the L-Star. Personally, I'm not a big fan. I know a lot of people are finding success with it since the change, and it's nice to see it's on the floor, like not a crate weapon. I never thought it was strong enough to be considered a crate weapon. You know, the crate would come down, you'd open it, oh, another L-Star. Like, no one wanted it. Like, it wasn't good. It's nice to see every crate I open doesn't have an L-Star in it anymore. So there's that. Right, Devotion has been moved to the crate. Now, this is a weapon I do think is worthy of being in the crate. With having a gold Devotion with an increased mag size is huge. That weapon is so strong, and I mean really strong. I'm pretty happy about this change. The Havoc. I don't really know what to say about this weapon anymore. I haven't seen much of it since the update, and I think the removal of the turbocharger really hurt it. They buffed the control and the handling of the gun, but I don't think it's enough. I really think the turbocharger needs adding to it, or the charge up being reduced or something to make it competitive. It's a bit weak. Everyone's beloved R99. Right. So 1 damage reduction per shot and increase the 2 bullet means it used to do 216 base damage in a full clip, and it now does 220 damage in a full clip. So on paper, it seems like a buff. Due to having to hit more shots, it's a nerf. You really notice the nerf to it when you're trying to fight a Chibi with a R99. He just eats the whole clip and it just tickles him. The gun's still really competitive, and it won't be dropped by any means, but you can definitely feel it feels weaker. Right, Prowler and the Hemlock. I've not really tested these, so I'm going to hold my opinion yet. I'm never been a big fan of the Prowler, to be honest, but I've heard good things, so maybe we'll have to have a look at that at a later date. The Wingman without the attachments has been buffed, which is fantastic. I don't feel like I need a mag before I get a Wingman now. I think 4 bullets was a bit small beforehand. 5 is fine, but it does mean when you've got a magged Wingman, it has received a nerf. There are less bullets, as a mag only gives you 1 bullet per tier of mag. A lot of people are really unhappy with this change because the Wingman's essentially been nerfed again. I think it's more of a rebalance, like stronger earlier, weaker later. I think it's completely warranted. The gun's always been top tier. It still will be top tier. Still amazing. Not a big problem. Either 8, I've not really noticed too much difference. Feels pretty much the same. The Mastiff Bug, I've never seen used, to be honest, but I'm not surprised. A gold weapon update. So P2020, gold, not bad. Sentinel, fun gun, everyone's going to use it. Prowler, gold isn't awful. R301 gold isn't awful. Havoc is the only one there that I'm like, why? Like, if it had a turbocharger on it, okay, leave it, it's fine. No one's going to use Select Fire turbocharger. There's literally no point. Okay, on to Legends. I've seen quite a lot of talk about this. Bloodhound, so as soon as you down someone, he gets 5 seconds extra on his ult timer, which is a really nice change, but no one plays them. I think you'll probably see a few Bloodhounds in pubs, but it's a cool change, but it's not enough to make him playable. We need a lot more changes than that, but it's nice. So the Crypto EMP no Strong's friendly Gibraltar Dome Shields. I've never actually seen this interaction. The Dome Shields no stick to Crypto Drone. I don't think many people actually use this, but it was quite funny. But yeah, I guess that's good. That's gone. Onto bug fixes. Yeah, so reaching 500 causes you to crash. That's just insane. Need to go. Most of these things just fine. They just needed to be fixed. The one noticeable one is the quality of life fixes for cases where approaching the edge of circle make the player's screen turn almost completely white. This is a much needed fix. Sometimes when you're fighting near the edge of the zone, you literally couldn't see anything. There's no flashbangs in Apex. We don't need this kind of thing. It doesn't add anything to the game. It doesn't make it more fun. Doesn't make it competitive. Like, it just needed to go. The adding favorite skins is a really nice touch. I didn't expect this to come. I'm quite glad it's come in. It's a nice feature. Pretty much everything else, nothing huge. The assists we've already touched on. Yeah, crashing's been reduced. I know there's still a lot of crashes going on, and I'm pretty sure they've said they're working on it. I was hoping that would come a bit quicker because I'm not gonna lie, I've been the victim of almost every single crash that I could find in Apex, but it's what it is. Matchmaking update. Again, no one really knows the details, so it doesn't really mean anything to us. I haven't really noticed that much difference myself, but I haven't played that many normals since the update, so that's that. Right guys, that'll be everything for the patch. Make sure to drop a sub on the YouTube and follow me on Twitch if you want to see me go live next time. If not, thanks for watching.